Alright, we're already in sport mode here. Seat height. I've got my feet pretty much flat foot when I sit all the way forward here. I'm 5'6", about a 30-inch inseam, and that's pretty cool. I think this seat height is technically, the specs say 31 inches, so ready to go. So if you've never ridden an electric motorcycle before, just a warning to you, if you're watching this and you want to get out on one, we're going to put this in street mode to start with, just because we want to see the difference in the reaction between between street and sport mode. So it feels really good here. It's not a super heavy bag. Put the specs down here. I believe it's sub 500. There's no wet weight because there's no fuel on this bike. So that also means maintenance is much different than when you own a nice engine, internal combustion engine. So it looks like we're gonna get ready to start here. Oh, and what I was gonna say is, if you've never ridden an electric bike before, once it's live, you've got your kickstand up, you've got your kill switch on. Don't think you can push on this throttle and so you can hear the engine. The engine's silent, so if you pull on that throttle to hear the engine, you're gonna go. So just a heads up here. What I found too is that I've got less of an inkling to reach for the clutch and more of an inkling to do my shifting here with the peg. I'm just waiting to get going here. You got on this model, and there's two different. I think there's just a standard SRF, and then there's the premium, and I'm guessing this is the premium model. Comes standard with cruise control and ABS, traction control. So just loaded with tech, innovation, and Zero's been at this since 2007, so they know what they're doing. So I guess we can also, while we're waiting, we can go over the controls here. We got your lights here up at the top here on the left, high and low beam. This is your mode switch, so to change your mode, you're going to hold this button in until you can toggle. See it's blinking there on the screen, and you can go up or down, and then you hit the button again to pick your mode. You got your turn signal here down low, and then your horn on the left, and on the right, kill switch and trip toggle. And doesn't look like it's gonna. Oh no, this is your, not trip toggle. This is your cruise control. All right, nice TFT display. Looks like it's probably about 4 inches. It's nice and clear either way. Doesn't matter. Got the sun right pretty high in the sky, and you've got a lot of information here. You got motor, temperature. That's going to fluctuate, I'm sure, because of the air-cooled functionality of the motor. Your range, you got about 80 miles left. And then, of course, miles per hour here. No RPM because we don't have that kind of motor. And if you notice, it's pretty much silent. Although I will say, I had a Zero right by me on the freeway, and I could hear it as it was passing me. Not much different than like a standard exhaust on a sport bike. Was about the noise level, so that was kind of cool to hear that from a different perspective than on the bike, knowing that you can actually hear the engine as it goes by. So here in street mode, as you roll on the throttle, if you give it a good roll on, you get a pretty linear amount of power. I'm sure that's going to change when we change it to sport mode, but as is, this is just a nice manageable amount of power. I guess we'll wait till we give it a good pull, and then we'll see how we deal with that power. So we'll see here if the turn signals are auto canceling here, if I've got to actually push it in to cancel it. We'll find out here in a second. So it looks like as you get going, the screen here is either going to adjust. Maybe at night it's going to change back to that black screen, but as you get going, the screen turns white. You can see that you can attach a Bluetooth, which is great because you can connect to and they call it the Next Gen Zero app. What that can do is you can change from the 5 different ride modes that are available standard on the bike to very fine tuning that you can do inside the app, and then that way you have much more control over torque, at top speed, I believe, too. Okay, it doesn't look like the turn signals are auto canceling, but that's the least of what the least of my concern right now, because oh my goodness, it's been years since I've ridden an electric bike, so I went back to black here. I think it just depends on I don't know what it depends on. I can't tell you for sure. All right. So I'm not sure in the video if you guys can hear the engine. I'll have to wait till I do my edits and post to find out if you guys can hear it. But oh my gosh, this power, and this is just street mode, guys. Once we change this to sport mode, I'm not worried, because I've ridden an electric bike before. I've ridden the Livewire, and I've ridden a couple other Zero models. I'll put links to the other Zeros test rides that I did a few years back. But oh my gosh, like if you're not careful and you're not ready for that torque, that power that's delivered immediately when you twist on that throttle, yeah, you could you gotta hold on to your butts. So the screen went back to white here. I think it adjusts, maybe depending on the like, if there's an internal compass that tells it what direction you're going, if the sun's facing it or not. I'm not sure. Oh my gosh, that is exhilarating. All right, guys, so not only is this torque immediate, oh my gosh, you guys, so getting into this turn, the bike is just, it's so nimble, so fun to ride. And you know, I love my standard internal combustion engine bike. You know, that's what I love. It's what I learned to ride on. It's what I grew up with. But there's something about the simplicity of just twisting on the throttle to get this speed. I mean, we're talking about a top speed with this Zero SRF of 124 miles an hour, and you know, we're not going to get there today, but holy crap, it's just so much fun. All right, and we've got a beautiful ride here. We're out near Napa here in Sonoma, California, here at the International Motorcycle Show, outdoors. This year, because of COVID, they brought the IMS back, but they are doing it all outdoors. All right, so let's talk about range, because the one thing I know people are concerned about when you talk about an electric bike is range. This bike's going to do better than the Livewire. The Livewire, you're looking at about a 70-mile range if you're doing 70 miles an hour on the freeway, and then it's got about, I want to say it's close to 200 miles, 170 miles or so, or 150 miles on the Livewire if you're in the city. This bike does a little bit better. It boasts about a 90 to 80 mile range at 70 miles an hour on the freeway, and up to 200 miles in the city. But I think that when you're considering an electric bike, you're not somebody who's going to tour. I'm hoping that Zero is working on some way to be able to use like the Tesla charging stations, so that if you really do want to take this bike out for longer rides, that you don't have to worry about that 80-90 mile highway range because of the battery. You know, this is just something that we've all got to learn to live with, because electric vehicles are going to be the thing of the future as we try to work out, you know, our and the brakes are really nice there. We had to slow down really quick, not super grippy, just the right amount of stoppage power when we had to stop quickly there. And again, no worrying about shifting here. All we got to worry about is the turn. I can really get on it outside of the turn. Oh, you guys, that is just spectacular. Gotta try it. If you haven't ridden an electric bike before, all I can say is you just gotta get out and try one. If it's the Zero, if it's the Livewire, it doesn't matter. You know, there's a handful of other companies who do electric bikes, and in my opinion do them well. And Zero is in my opinion the best. They're the benchmark. They're the standard by which everyone should, every electric bike company should aspire to live up to. Ooh. All right, so that was a little on my bad on my part. So we're gonna switch this. We're going to sport mode. No more joking around here. All right, sport mode. Here we go. So this bike does handle well in the slow speed turns. That was just my oh my goodness. So I had to give it a little lean forward there in sport mode because, yeah, otherwise, yeah, you could get into some trouble. Oh my gosh. And you guys, the weight and just the riding position of this bike, you're sitting a little bit upright, just a slight lean forward. But just the overall performance of this bike, riding position, handleability, acceleration, I mean, this bike is the complete package. And again, we're talking about the big setback for people is the range. But I can tell you, man, if this is something that you're thinking of as an option, you gotta try it. And here, for me, now that we're going against the wind and the wind's blowing, I don't know if you guys can hear it in the video, but the wind noise is up now because we're riding against the wind. I can almost not hear the bike at all, which to me, you know, I love hearing my exhaust. But just when you're out here by yourself on the road, you know, especially if you get out into to mountain area where it's quiet, I think the experience would just be like a whole new experience. And with a 70-mile range, it depends on where you live, but I know I could get out to some mountainy, hilly areas on that amount of mileage and have some fun and a nice quiet day. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so sport mode, I mean, you still get power fairly linearly in a linear manner, but when you give that throttle the twist in sport mode, oh, it's like nothing else. It's like if you've ever ridden the Incredicoaster at Disneyland, where you go from stop to go just like in the blink of an eye. That's what it's like. If you've ridden insane mode maybe on a Tesla, I'm guessing that's probably a little bit more crazy. But this is by all means, or by no means, is this a slouch when it comes to electric vehicles and exhilaration is really the best word I can give you when you're riding this motorcycle. It's like nothing else. Now, if you're looking at the SRS, which is the sportier version, it's the fairing, the version of the SRF with the fairing. I think the riding position is a little more aggressive. You might be leaning forward a little more. I don't know that the foot controls are going to be in a different position by much, if at all. But you know, this is plenty for me. Battling the wind here with no windshield is not an issue. I mean, we're here in close to the Bay Area in California where it is really windy. You can probably hear the wind noise, but it's not really a factor here. I don't feel the side wind being an issue. I don't feel like going into the wind or riding with the wind was any big issue. Suspension, they've gone all out with Showa forks and the rear monoshock. All of these things I think are adjustable, and I'll leave that, make sure I put that here so you can see it. I'll also leave a link in the description to Zero's website if you guys want to, you know, check the company out. It's a good company. It's a California-based company, I believe, and it just, you know, I'm from California, and it's one of those things where you take pride in some of these companies that start up in California and find success like Zero has. All right. If you have questions about the Zero as we come to the end of the ride, about the 2021 Zero SRF, make sure you leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer any questions you might have, and if I can, I'll definitely just go out and search and see if I can find an answer for you. See, that's the first time I reach for the shifter peg as we're slowing down to shift down. Old habits. Just gonna run this here. Slow speed. Oh yeah. Very nice. Very, very nice. And see, we've got no more wind. You can hear the whir of the electric engine. It's a cool sound, and I think it's pretty comparable to what you're going to get out of the Livewire. The Livewire really boasted to have like a unique sound, but I don't know that it's all that different. All right, so as we go downhill here, you got the motor kind of helping you out, so you don't get up to too high of a speed. So that's nice too. Yeah, you know, you just never know with the technology in these bikes how it's going to end up once you get out here, but all around, I cannot say enough good things about the Zero SRF. Guys, this is the end of the ride. Make sure if you like this video, you hit that thumbs up down there, and if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. Guys, if you are out there riding, please be safe. Be kind to one another. My name is Eric. I'm that one guy, and I am out.